Video footage from a birthday bash Sean Diddy combs through for his friend Meek Mill in April of 2014 has surfaced in the midst of the disgraced rapper's.
This is the first time in a Diddy story I've ever heard about condoms. We've heard about baby oils that supposedly they're spiking drinks with. We've heard about all type of things. We've never heard about a goddamn condom.
What? I mean, seriously, y'all, the things these two were allegedly up to are beyond wild. From that sushi situation I mentioned to used stained beddings scattered everywhere. I know. I'm clutching my pearls too. This video has everyone completely disgusted, so stick with me while we dive into what might be the most shocking footage ever released from an alleged Diddy party. And trust me when I tell you, there's a reason so many celebrities in this video wanted to keep it under wraps.
Wild nights. It says property manager recalls the aftermath of a birthday party Diddy threw for Meek Mill. Said he found blood-stained sheets, lubricant, cocaine, razors, underwear, and mo. What the? Oh, this sounds too crazy.
Listen, honey, people have been dying to see these clips from Diddy's supposed offs that the police got their hands on during that house raid. But because this investigation is so sensitive, nothing official has been released until now. Apparently, Diddy was such a fan of recording these parties that some people out there are sitting on endless footage. And child, let me tell you about this one clip that just leaked. It is absolutely wild. Picture this. It's May 3rd, 2014, and Diddy decides to throw this massive party for his bestie, Meek Mill's 27th birthday. But when I say party, I mean party. You know how Diddy always says there's no party like a Diddy party? Well, honey, he wasn't kidding. First off, this man went and rented an entire Parisian palace for just one day. Can you believe he dropped $25,000 just like that? And between you and me, from what I'm hearing, Diddy definitely got his money's worth with Meek, if you catch my drift.
What's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Now let me spill this piping hot tea about who was there. The mansion was literally bursting with celebrities. We're talking King Buck, French Montana, L. Durk, and that's just the beginning. The Daily Mail says it was so packed that these stars could barely move through the crowds with their bodyguards and arm candy. I'm talking 900 people, y'all. Inside this madness, you had dancers in barely their lingerie doing these super seductive performances on makeshift stages, while other women wearing next to nothing were posing with different rappers all over the house. But here's the part that had me gasping. They had this woman lying completely naked on a table with just this tiny piece of clear vinyl covering her front. And get this, they were serving sushi off her body. There were other women standing around with sauce bottles for dipping. I mean, sure, maybe that vinyl was for hygiene, but let's be real. If you're eating raw fish off someone's body at a Diddy party, hygiene is probably the last thing on your mind. The party just kept getting wilder. As the night went on, everyone was posing for photos, and at one point, Meek Mill, French Montana, and Diddy all got up to give this big speech to everyone there. Now let me tell you about the insane amount of planning that went into this party. A whole month before, Diddy's PA reached out to Jason Haidt, who managed this fancy Parisian palace. Even though the party was happening 3 days after Meek's actual birthday, Diddy had this super specific request. He wanted it to happen the same night as the Floyd Mayweather versus Marcos Maidana fight so everyone could really let loose. And here's where it gets really interesting. Diddy was obsessed with the bedrooms. He demanded all new bedding and insisted they stay sealed until his team could supervise the installation. But the juiciest part? He wanted all the keys handed over to him personally. Nobody else could have them. Can you imagine? Poor Mr. Haidt was dealing with this whole drama about the locks because, honey, this wasn't just any building. This was a fancy old mansion with these gorgeous crystal door handles and skeleton keys. But when he brought up concerns about replacing them, Diddy just waved it off like money was nothing. Just get it done, he said.
Property manager recalls the aftermath of a birthday party Diddy threw for Meek Mill. Says he found blood-stained sheets, lubricant, razors, underwear, and more. God damn. I'm just mad they chose this picture of him. Why he looking like that? This is crazy work. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm just glad I don't go out.
Now this next part had me clutching my pearls. Mr. Hate had to stay on site during the party in case anything went wrong, and he told the Daily Mail everything. He said, "I told them I have a detached guest house in the rear of the property, and that unless they summon me, I will stay there. I explained to them that the mansion is a period home, which meant all bedroom doors were solid wood with solid brass mortise-type locks with crystal door handles and skeleton keys." But wait, it gets even more suspicious. Diddy went and got an insurance policy to cover the mansion and everything in it in case anyone, and I quote, lost their life at this party. I mean, what kind of party needs that kind of insurance? And here's something that made my jaw drop. Diddy brought his own smoke detectors and had them removed after. Like, were they even really smoke detectors? Because with everything we've been hearing about Diddy lately, when this mess finally ended around 3 a.m., Mr. Hate said the place was absolutely destroyed. We're talking broken bottles everywhere, used all over the place, and don't even get me started on those bedrooms. They found hundreds of razor blades everywhere, from the floors to the dressers and the bedding. Chile, it was covered in stains. They probably had to burn everything after Diddy left. When this video hit the internet, people absolutely lost their minds. Let me share some of these reactions with you because they are everything. One person was like, "Call me old-fashioned, but I would rather eat my food off a plate." And honestly, same. Another comment that really had me thinking said, "Why would anyone humiliate themselves by letting people eat off their bodies like that? Is it money that erases any self-respect or dignity? Or was this girl forced to do that as it's been alleged? Either way, it's gross." And then someone dropped this bombshell. Diddy's smoke detectors were cameras. Y'all, I got chills. Another person didn't hold back, writing, "I honestly cannot understand anyone with 1% self-respect and dignity attending such a party." But we are talking about celebrities who were themselves passed around in similar parties. Ask DiCaprio and J-Lo. The comments just kept getting more intense. Someone wrote, "The smoke detectors he wanted must have had cameras in them. As for the double-sided locks, he could lock in anyone he pleased with him holding all the keys." I can't look at Hollywood, the twerking music industry the same. Release the full guest list and put them on the watch list. This type of sickness is dangerous.
So we get there, and that's when stuff got weird. And that's why they lock up our phones, because they know what we see in there, you know, it's he can get in trouble like right now. So basically, we arrived, security guard patted us down. They put our phone in this little bubble case. So the bubble case is closed. They can't get unlocked until we walk out. So as we're in there, the only way of us taking any type of pictures is if we get in the photo booth. He has like a Team Love photo booth or whatever. Take like 4 pictures. So I, got pictures. I still got everything in my Snap too, like of the photos, everything. That's all you could get.
But wait, there's more. This isn't even the first time we've heard about these wild parties. A few weeks ago, someone named Tanya, who claims she used to attend these freak-offs, came forward to say we haven't even heard the worst of what allegedly went down. She spilled all the tea during an interview with Soft White Underbelly, and let me tell you, it's shocking. According to Tanya, Diddy was obsessed with secrecy. These parties had supposedly been going on for years, and he went to extreme lengths to keep everything hush-hush. The security was so intense that you couldn't just accidentally wander in. Absolutely no way. Everyone had to give up their phones and electronics at the door, and they sealed them in these bubble cases so nobody could sneak any photos or videos. Apparently, Diddy was the only one allowed to record anything. But here's where it gets even crazier. These weren't just your regular wild parties. Tanya says they were super organized with different sections, and you couldn't just go wherever you wanted. Get this. She claims one of Diddy's sons approached her after she got inside. The sons were supposedly in charge of picking who got to go into the main house where the real freak-offs were happening. And honey, it doesn't stop there. The people chosen for these freak-offs allegedly got white shoes as some kind of signal that they were approved. like some secret society mess. But child, let me tell you about what Tanya says was happening inside. She described it as complete chaos, dim lights, music so loud you couldn't hear yourself think, and you could barely see anything. She says waitresses were constantly serving drinks, and, I'm not making this up, people were just walking around completely naked. But the weirdest part? Diddy supposedly had this thing for people dressed like Harajuku dolls with red lipstick. And this wasn't just happening late at night. Tanya claims she saw this going down at 7 in the morning. Plus, there were Instagram models everywhere. The whole thing sounds like some kind of fever dream. Y'all, I'm still processing all of this. What do you think about this wild video getting out there? Do you think we're going to see more leaks from these Diddy parties? Drop your thoughts in the comments, but don't go anywhere because I've got even more shocking news about Diddy coming up. About Diddy